The Castlevania Ravenloft RPG. Last we left our adventurers, they slayed an angel and are now on the move to purify sites or go to the Blue Water Tavern or hunt a werewolf, or what would you guys like to do next?
Shopping.
Shopping. Well, Kresk has no real commerce. They just have some sort of deal set up with the Martikoffs and the Wizards of Wine so that they'll deliver wine there. So there is no real commerce in Kresk itself. The village of Barovia has Bildris Mercantile, and then Valaki had a place that had a few wares. Nothing too impressive. Just adventuring gear that they basically sold.
Yeah, but Bildris was a ripoff.
Well, I mean, if it's the only store in the land, it is what it is.
I don't know. Are we up for going all the way back to Barovia?
Who actually makes the weapons and armor of the land?
Who are you asking?
Anybody who knows. Have we met a blacksmith or seen anyone doing such work?
The only one that I can recall, just out of character, is that the Martikoffs had your spear taken somewhere secretive to be forged.
Yes, that's all I can remember too. Oh well.
But you do remember that Bildraths did sell in traded gear. It looks like a lot of adventurers had come and perished in this land, so people find things, and he's the place to sell it.
Also, the burgomaster of Valaki offered us his personal blacksmith.
I don't recall that.
Sounds familiar.
Because one of the things Jack asked for was to get his rapier silver.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, back to Valaki or back to Barovia?
I would like to check in on Ismark, see how he's faring, if maybe he's heard any more about his sister, because we certainly haven't.
That would seem a prudent way to go. Jeeves, Jack, what say you?
Why don't we ask our new friend? I believe she might want to visit her mentor.
Esmeralda nods in appreciation, and she says, "Yes, I must go and see Van Richten. You said he was at the tower in the lake."
Indeed. Was that your wagon we found there at the tower?
Yes, that is where I last left my wagon. I hope you didn't try to intrude upon it.
I'm not the intruding type, ma'am, but I find it quite curious that you were staying here of your own volition when you didn't apparently try to look again for Van Richten. What kept you here?
I'd been looking for Van Richten, and when I came upon this place, I figured it would be a good place to stage an attack on Strahd, far away from his coffin in Castle Ravenloft. The abbot seemed as if he had some plan for making a bride for him. If he could somehow gain audience with Strahd here, it would be more beneficial for me to confront him here than his own castle.
I see. Well, I'm sorry your plan only seemed to halfway work.
It may have not been the best plan. The abbot was quite mad. I don't think fighting them alone with with both of them at the same time would have been the best option. It's a blessing that you came.
Well, it is good to have you. Thank you for your help in the fight. I don't know if we could have done it without you.
It seemed easy enough.
So our path is set then, back to Van Richten's tower.
Yes, that's fine with me.
I don't hear anyone saying no. So...
Yes. Sorry.
Don't everybody speak at once.
Gentlemen?
I'm good. This gold is heavy, so if we could sell it soon, that'd be nice.
I'm good with Van Richten. Although, before we leave, Ezek.
Ezek was checking around the place, seeing if he needed to eliminate any threats around before he started to settle in here. But he hears you and comes downstairs.
Very good. Be so kind after we leave and bury the angel. He does deserve some measure of respect.
I will bury him in the courtyard. I don't wish to go outside this small abbey. It seems like I may have glimpsed a small graveyard out in the front of the abbey out of a window. I would have to investigate.
That would be perfect. I wouldn't want him out of these walls anyway. He seemed quite content here.
Jack, roll a wisdom check. $15. Good. You recall something about the Martikoffs and talking about the werewolves. Did they mark on the map for you where they were located?
They did.
Do you remember where that was? I'm gonna say you do.
Like a 20-minute walk south of their thing, or it was real close. It was within an hour or so. Walk south of the vineyard.
No. I think you must be thinking of the witch's hut.
Yes, possibly.
The werewolves were in the woods on the way here.
Yes, to be more specific, do you have the map up right now? Do you see it?
I do. Oh, you're talking to him.
Mm-hmm. Jack, can you see the map? Jack, can you see the map?
Yes.
It's right here. It's where they marked it. So it's basically in between the tower and Kresk, but north.
Isn't that right along where he investigated the short path off to the side where the trap was laid?
Was it there?
It was on the way here between Van Regen's tower and Kresk, and it was that side, but it might be unrelated. I'm sure it was like just a roll anyway that produced that.
Oh, well, that's probably not a coincidence, though. I mean...
Well, whatever.
My music stopped. What the heck?
Hit it with a brick.
That damn bot.
One of these days it will cooperate.
Yeah, I guess the playlist was
Or
over.
it's fine.
But I cannot have silence, guys. So
I know.
I want to take care of that.
Brent, you are auxiliary bot master. because God knows it never listens to anything I try to command it to do.
I think Mike has already got something going on.
I just played one song. If you could find some more, that'd be great.
Sure.
Anyways, unless that doesn't work for some reason. There it goes.
It's working.
But yeah,
Mike, we tested for the
so
session.
just as a side note, Jack, you remember that the werewolf, where their base is basically pretty close to you, closer now than you've ever been. It would probably take as much time just to get to Van Ricken's tower as it was to get there. So, one of the two. You can't, unless you can swim really well. I don't think that you'd be able to get from one to the other without backtracking a bit this direction. Esmeralda's pretty clear that she wants to go to Van Richten's tower, though.
Before we do leave, Alex is going to give the feather to Ezek, just in case any ravens do wind up stopping by the Abbey and investigating. They won't be without a friend there.
Do you
in case she needs to send them along the way with food or anything for him, because there is no food there aside from the rations she's leaving for him.
Not that you've discovered, but when you give him the feather, do you explain to him anything about it? Because
Yeah.
he wouldn't understand.
Yeah.
Well, how is it that you explain it to him, what this feather's for? And why
This-
you're giving it to him?
This was given to me by a friend. I was told it would come in handy, and we found more friends along the way. I don't know if you're familiar with the Mardukov family in Valaki.
Of course. I am familiar with them, but I don't understand why a feather has significance tied to them.
They, like my friend Jack here, they're all were-ravens.
Interesting.
It may be some time before we can send provisions and supplies, but if I can, I will try to send them along with the ravens. Keep an eye out.
Jack smacks the back of her head.
She pulls her rapier on him.
You don't give information to people. It's bad business.
You don't raise a hand to a lady.
Well, I see no lady.
My goodness. Didn't
Yeah,
we
she's gonna stab him.
Oh, okay. Roll for initiative, both of you.
I'm just kidding.
Didn't we just agree to
Oh.
move on, guys? We were arguing a few minutes ago.
Well, I mean, they were pretty clear with Jack about keeping it a secret, so I can understand his actions. So we have a rapier in hand.
I'm gonna put it away.
It's probably the most best guarded or well guarded secret in the land, aside from whatever's left in the pages of the Tome of Strahd.
Ezek says he's never leaving this place. You won't tell anyone,
Exactly.
correct?
Are you asking?
Can we trust him? Yes. I'm asking Ezek, can we trust him?
Ezek just looks to Alex and gives a nod. He doesn't really say anything else about it.
I doubt he cares all that much, really.
That's good enough for me.
Did Jack ever get that scroll he stashed away in the Abbey?
He did.
Yes, and I gave it to you.
Oh yeah, it was the feast thing. Gotcha. Anything else, guys, before we depart?
No, I think we're good.
Bear in mind, we are close to another of our objectives. The wooded significance that needs purification.
You don't say. Elaborate.
Recall that one of the our
Sacred sites.
purification objectives was in the forest, guarded by wolves.
Ah, I didn't recall that tidbit of it being guarded by wolves.
Yeah, there's nothing. There's never been anything said directly that it's guarded by wolves. For the record.
Are you sure? Because okay, whatever.
It's just a good assumption. I mean,
I could swear I've been remembering things wrong all week long, so we'll just assume that I'm crazy and Jack didn't say that.
No, we've just.
In which case,
we've been talking too much.
another
stuff.
of our objectives is nearby.
I don't suppose you mean your werewolf target.
Yes, I mean my werewolf target. There is a pack of wolves among which he may dwell currently.
Esmeralda, it doesn't seem far from here what he's referring to. I believe I've seen it on the map myself. Do you know anything of this werewolf group?
No, I believe that this land has that it does indeed have werewolves, and I believe that they are in league with Strahd. Of that I have no doubt, but I do not know their location.
How would you feel about pursuing this on our way to Van Richten's Tower?
You are inviting me to come along with you, then?
If you wouldn't mind, we could certainly use your help, I'm sure.
What is your intentions?
Murder, mayhem, destruction, ending an ages-old vendetta. This potato.
Cleansing the land.
Yeah, the last thing.
Mostly vengeance.
Well, I can understand a need for vengeance, but cannot allow any innocents to be slaughtered or murdered.
If you haven't heard yet, Esmeralda, our main objective is to cleanse the land of certain areas of influence that Strahd has in the land. I've already purified one and weakened his influence there. There's apparently 2 other sites where I can go and actually remove his influence, and apparently it weakens him. If we do this at all 3 locations, he is said to lose most of his power over the land.
And you said that you have done this?
I have done this far south of Valaki, where the old abandoned village lays. And that... What was it called, Mike?
The ruins of Berez?
Berez, yes.
Yeah, she wouldn't know that. But she says, well, if you have weakened Strahd's power and can do so further, I see that our paths are aligned. I will help you if I can.
Very good. My next question is, how is everyone doing on their strength currently? Should we rest before we pursue this?
I could use a short rest. All my superiority dice have been burned, guys, so...
The majority of my spells have been used personally.
Short rest or long rest, I'm good with either.
Jeeves is good, but he can keep guard if he needs to.
So should I apply a short rest?
Give Jack just a minute and then yes.
Yes.
That's fine. While you give or need a minute, I will try to find some music.
I thought I enqueued Dracula X.
The bot says no.
Were you doing a playlist?
It should have been. Let me try again.
Yeah, don't paste the same link, though. It's tricky to get the correct playlist link.
You have to do it from the playlist page itself.
Yeah. So you click on the playlist, and then in the upper right, you can copy that.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'll apply that short rest whenever.
And while we're short resting, you can have Elias read another entry in the tome.
The tomb.
Yeah.
Sure. Is there anything you want to look for in particular in the book as you're flipping through the pages? You're a little bit more familiar now with the shorthand that Strahd uses to encode this book.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like a linear progression, but if Elias can look for something, I would say more information on exactly where the sites are. And let's see. I can't think of anything else right now.
Okay. Just roll an investigation check. We'll see how that goes.
All right, Jack's ready whenever you want to apply the short rest.
It takes you a bit of time, probably longer than you would have liked, so this is all the information you can glean from this session. But you do indeed see a symbol that you recognize from the previous sacred site. And upon seeing that symbol, it clues you in that this is talking about the one in the forest. And you're pretty sure, based on the location here and the mention of Strahd's allegiance with werewolves, that the sacred site would definitely be in the forest at that location. And the ritual to purify it is now known to you. You think that it's very similar to the other one. There's only a few small things that you have to change due to the location. But now that you've done it once before, you think that it would be easier to accomplish the second or third time.
Yes, and on top of that, Elias is a more powerful cleric too, so that makes sense.
Okay.
All right.
Let's get this short rest applied.
As everyone is resting, Jack is leafing through a thin, black-bound book with a silver backing.
Okay. You've also recently acquired a manual of golems, flesh golem creation.
Ooh.
But you think that the components and the time that it would take to do so is pretty outrageous. Just funding this venture to create a flesh golem of your own would cost about 50,000 gold.
After Elias is done looking through the Tome of Strahd, he begins to pen a letter.
Okay. Anything else during the rest? Mr. Jeeves or Alexa?
I'm just polishing my gold.
No rigorous activities, Alex.
Damn it.
Rigorous activities.
He's a
I was going to say Alex is polishing something else.
Oh my
You
god.
can just lay there.
Well. Roll a skill check. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, Jesus Christ, really?
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
He's in position. Roll to impregnate.
Oh,
Really?
God.
Not right now.
Yeah. Pregnancy doesn't... Let's just not even think about it. But...
Not right now. Yeah. Moving on.
It looks like Esmeralda also participated in meditation and preparation for spells. So... she probably has the lightning back that you saw her using.
With Mr. Jeeves.
Anyways, what would you like to do after your rest is finished? It's pretty dark at this hour.
What was that?
Traveling the road
It's
at night
dark.
is probably not a good idea.
Mike said that it's pretty dark outside now.
Yeah.
It is, and traveling the road at night is probably not a great idea. We could explore the town.
Yep. Collect some more of that water.
Wake up some more vampires.
I am good at that.
Yeah, you are.
Just let me know if you need an encounter. I'll find something.
Thanks.
Juice has a neck.
I'll go
Just-
stick a
just-
man through an empty window and, come out covered in centipedes. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
Just no more vampire boxes.
Yeah. Maybe one or two at a time this time, not
Not
6 of them.
I only opened one. I didn't even open one, really. I just cracked it. Anyway, yeah.
Excuses.
Yeah,
No, we
yeah.
never saw those vampires again either.
Nope, they ran off.
Don't care.
So, what we're doing? Going to Kresk?
I would say that's the best option until it starts to become a little bit more light outside.
Oh, we have to go through Kresk anyway, so we can. I'll stop at the pool myself, probably.
Yeah, Alex was curious about it when he mentioned it to her, so she'll accompany him.
Okay, so down to Krusk we go.
Via the pool.
In future updates of Fantasy Grounds, we'll be able to do daytime, nighttime, and weather effects.
Dynamic lighting. Oh my god, yes.
I thought we could do. There you go. That's the lighting.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I can do that,
Whoa.
but I mean the actual map itself.
That's still cool though.
That's really cool. I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, you can do that more often.
Okay, so
Well,
you descend
however-
down from the Abbey of St. Markovia down the winding road until you get back to the small village of Kresk. It looks like mostly a forest more than any kind of village. The very self-sufficient town is quietly sleeping. It doesn't look like they have any activity going on at this hour, but you do see guards posted along the walls and at the gates. They don't look happy to see you from a distance. Having people walk around this late at night is unsettling to them. They're not used to having visitors at all.
Hmm.
So what is your destination in town? Is everyone going to the pool or just Elias and Alex?
I was heading to the pool too.
Jack's going to the pool.
Okay, so the party goes to the north end, where you
Pool party.
see
Sorry.
you see the gazebo that is basically on the verge of collapsing. A wooden statue of a mournful bare-chested man, and he is standing with his arms outstretched as though waiting to be embraced. And the waters of the pool are clear and dark at this hour, but with whatever lights that you carry, you can see to the bottom of this shallow pool.
What was so special about this place, Elias?
Can you not feel it, Alex? There's something special about the water. I actually drank some of it earlier, and I've never tasted something so wonderful before. I could even feel the presence of God as it touched my lips. It's quite magnificent.
Should we gather canteens full of it then?
I personally have, and Jeeves has as well. But yes, I see nothing wrong with partaking of it. A quick splash might do you good.
Alright, Alex will fill a canteen with it then. Or not.
Hmm?
Run away!
As you uncork your canteen and begin filling it, it rumbles thunder across the sky above you, and a slight rainfall begins to splatter. The surface of the pool is interrupted by all of these splatters, and you feel all of the hair on your arms stand on end as though lightning is about to strike close to
We
you.
might need to take cover.
Yeah, she's gonna back the fuck away from the pool.
What in the world?
Maybe it's just a daytime thing.
Did she get any of it in the canteen at all?
Yes, you're able to
Okay.
fill the canteen.
Okay, then she's gonna back away from the pool very swiftly. And very carefully.
Elias stands his ground near it to see if, like, testing the situation.
As does Jack. This is after the short rest, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
What are you doing next to the pool, Elias? Exactly.
I'm looking to the sky and wondering if like God is speaking to them or something supernatural is happening.
You definitely feel a supernatural tinge in the air.
Sounds like more than a tinge, huh?
Yeah. I think we pissed off Strahd.
As soon as you say his name, the lightning strikes and shatters the statue apart. The wooden statue is now in splinters, the gazebo falling over.
Oh, the hugging man fell.
A thick mist crawls in from around close to the pool. The walls stop and just become trees before they head up to the abbey on a very steep slope. That fog crawls in around all of you before materializing behind you into Strahd von Zarovich.
Oh god.
Oh,
I
crap.
need to stop anticipating these things.
You hear the howls of wolves somewhere out beyond the walls. Strahd does not
Is
look
it?
happy.
Obviously.
Is it him by himself or does he have the horse too?
It's just him by himself, and he's about 15 feet away from you.
Get the whip out.
You see that Esmeralda produces a rapier.
Come to pay us a visit, Lord.
Something has changed in my lands. How goes your progress on what I have asked of you?
As empty progress as any, I'm afraid. Not for lack of trying.
Your usefulness seems to be lacking. Perhaps it would be more fun to invite you to the castle.
An open invitation isn't necessarily a requirement.
You remember Ismark the Lesser of Barovia.
Is it safe to assume something's happened to him?
I am keeping someone close to him as a guest. I'm afraid my patience and hospitality is becoming rather exhausted. You see the guards around the towers. They don't approach as if they are going to defend. Instead, they flee.
Smart.
What matters several days to one of your stature, my lord?
Things have escalated.
Oh?
Elias, make a wisdom saving throw.
Still has your shadow, dude.
Just a moment.
Oh, very well. You could kind of feel Strahd trying to peer into your thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
but you can force him out if you want to.
I certainly will. Elias is purposefully trying not to say or think anything.
All right. Strahd says, recently, something happened in the ruins of Berez. Is this a place familiar to you?
Is he talking to all of us or Elias specifically?
Everyone.
Alex just looks at Elias.
Yes, Strahd. We almost died there. Actually, Alex did die there.
And when you were there, did you perform a ritual?
No, lord.
Lying to us isn't gonna do any good.
Jack did not.
Very well
Elias
then.
is not.
You speak for everyone then.
I speak for myself. What I remember happening is a very large beast chasing me down a hallway, being very, very scared and needing new trousers after the fact.
That is exactly why I have come to visit you then. You have something of mine, and I demand it immediately. I can either take it, or you can give it to me. You must know of what I speak.
Just out of character, do they actually need the tome to purify the other two sites?
I doubt it.
Give it to him.
How much of it has Elias read so far, Mike? Percentage-wise or whatever?
Well, it's a very thick tome, and you've only read the passages that I've mentioned out loud to you. So, you think that there's many more secrets inside. Percentage-wise, from what I originally mentioned, I would say from the relevant information, you've gotten a lot. I would say most of it. But the amount of secrets and history, particularly personal to Strahd, there's no telling what secrets you hold in your hand, or wherever you've stashed this.
I see. And out of character, he says he knows we have it. Is that true, or is he just saying that?
Let's play the game
No
and find out.
metagaming. No metagaming. Play it.
I don't think I could check against that or anything, right?
Well, you can just take your own personal
Perception
insight.
check for bluff.
I mean, let's just look at the facts here. He's definitely felt a loss of power. He's placed you at the scene of the crime. You were chased by the beast. What were you doing there? He's missing something, and he thinks that maybe you have it.
And he's not stupid.
I'm waiting.
What exactly are you accusing us of, my lord?
Not returning stolen property to me.
And what is this property?
I have my personal notes. They're very precious to me. I lost them long ago, or they were stolen. I know not which. But I believe it is no coincidence that you are in that location in this amount of time.
Oh, then you speak of this. And Elias pulls out the book.
He just extends his hand.
Mage hand and put it in his hand.
Elias, would you allow that to happen?
Yes.
All right.
Or you could throw it at his face.
Jack produces a bony skeletal hand that retrieves the book from Elias and delivers it to Strahd. Strahd says, "You have made a grave mistake, my guests. What you have done, what you have severed for me, can never be regained. And for this, you must pay." He turns invisible.
Oh, great.
Everyone roll initiative.
Yep, roll initiative. I saw that coming.
You know, Angel would have come in handy right about now.
Blame the priest.
I do.
What'd he do? Just produced stolen property. That's a godly thing to do.
No, for pissing off the angel.
Oh, well. Poor Elias.
Yep.
No regrets.
No regrets. Yeah, no regrets except we're about to die.
All right, everyone except for Esmeralda has rolled initiative.
Hey, Mike.
Yes.
My new skill.
Huh?
I want to use my new skill. Know your enemy.
Oh, you didn't really have enough time.
That was over a minute. It says only a minute.
Okay, what would you like to glean?
Armor class and hit points.
Oh
Uh,
boy.
Both?
I'm entitled to 2.
Why don't you link me to that real quick?
Gladly.
Oh, hey, the boss music started.
That's
Hey,
appropriate.
always a good sign.
For that matter, Mike, I linked you something in Messenger as well. I thought it was core. Apparently, it's not.
It's not letting me link. But I have it up on my screen if you want to take a look at my character sheet.
Huh. I see where you're going with this, Logan.
I'd planned on taking that this level. I just need to know if you'll allow it, because, yeah, it could become kind of immediately important.
I see. Huh.
I am perfectly okay with you saying no, because it's not core. I thought it was.
What's the source of this?
I think it's another Sword Coast guide. Sword Coast Adventurer guide.
Hmm.
Little Dance of Illusions.
Really?
How does this not even, like, you have to have concentration to be able to move it around. It doesn't even say concentration.
Again, I think that's designer oversight necessarily. If you want to say that any of the longer durations require concentration, I'm fine with that. But as written, it doesn't.
Simple shapes
It's a
and
cantrip,
animate
that's why.
at your direction. I would have to research this a bit more. Is there any... Can you come up with anything else that does the same thing? Like Mage Hand? I don't know. Couldn't that do something similar? That's actually holding something like a hand, though, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like,
Man, just I want to allow it just for the creativity, but we'll see. First, I want to see what Alexandra is. Is it a new feat or ability or what? What's it called?
It's listed under features. It's right below the fighting style and above military rank.
So features. That's okay. Above military rank. Know your enemy. At least 1 minute observing or interacting outside combat. Okay, so all I have to do is say equal, superior, or inferior, and he is superior in both.
Her current base or her with her weapons and dual wielding?
You're asking for hit points and armor class.
Yes, for armor class. I'm asking her base, which is 16, or her one with her dual wielding, which would be 20.
Huh. That's an interesting question.
Because obviously it's higher than 16, so is it higher than 20?
I'm going to say, as far as armor class, I would say equal. Hit
Equal
points
to
are
what?
he's superior. You're
Okay, but
yes.
for AC, equal to what? The base 16 or the high 20?
16.
Okay,
Based on the 16.
good to know. Good to know. Okay.
Yeah. What were the three options? It's whatever the one in the middle was is the answer. Not inferior, not superior, but in the
Equal
same.
to.
Yeah. I don't like
Yeah.
the word equal because equal to me means exact.
I know.
I mean,
I
in
know.
comparison, it's comparable. I'll say that. Or
Comparable,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, comparable to it.
All right, that's fine. But anyway, just gave the answer, so that's fine.
Okay. Huh. Now, we'll see. Jack is coming up a little bit later, and that cantrip has a casting time of what, Jack?
1 action, I believe.
And would this is just a cantrip, so it wouldn't even burn up a spell slot? I don't like that either. I mean, I think that druids and stuff have spells that do this kind of stuff specifically, and I would want to compare them to that. So I really do want to research it more. So as cool as I really want to see it happen, but I just don't think it's right if I let it happen.
That's probably for the better because I can think of so many ways to abuse it.
Yeah, I mean, if someone drank a glass
Outside
of
of this moment, just as it's written, I can think of a half dozen ways to use it like it shouldn't be.
Yeah, I mean, the bladder.
Impromptu boat, impromptu water cutting drill.
All sorts of stuff, yeah. Let's just not go with that. Cool idea, though. I appreciate the creativity. All right,
What
Mr.
spell-
Cheeves.
What spell was this?
It was an unofficial spell for shaping water.
Oh, okay.
I think that Jack wanted to grab some water out of the pool and do some cool stuff with it to vampires.
Pop the water up into the vampire's face, then freeze it so that we can see him.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mr. Jeeves, it's your turn.
Yes.
You're first to act.
Oh, goody. I get to go first. Yay. I'm going to hold my turn.
Okay. Then it's my turn.
Crap.
Oops.
Because I know I can't go stealthy.
Let's see. My first attack action from Strahd.
Wow, he's just diving right in.
We don't have a combat map, do we?
Oh,
We
I
don't.
guess that would be nice, huh?
Yeah.
Well, this resolution's gonna suck, but I don't have anything for the actual.
Looks like pizza.
Yikes.
Let me see if I can get a grid on here.
1 pixel per 5 feet.
Yeah, that
Oh my
doesn't really
God.
work. I'm turning that off. That's terrible.
This is like a generic, like.
If you zoom out far enough, it actually works.
Yeah, I zoomed out some. It looks not bad.
Well, I think we can just do an impromptu map here.
What about like 65 or 67?
Huh. I like 65 and 67, but they don't quite have the water. I guess I could show where the water would be. Yeah. I like 65. Good call. Some funky beats going on.
Demon Seed.
I know. Put back on Dance of Illusions.
The only thing I don't like
Or,
about 65 is those have pre-made grids on them that aren't true grids.
Oh yeah, Brent. Throw on Dark Knight Toccata. That was Walter's theme.
Yeah, I see what you mean, Mike.
But that's okay. I think I can delete that and it'll be alright. Let me just get everybody out here. And you can place yourselves 15 feet away from him. Oh, you don't know where he's at.
Yeah, he's invisible. We have no idea where he is.
Where was he?
He was behind any one of us, so.
Yeah,
which general direction
so,
was he?
Did I turn the grid off? I want that grid off. There we go. And then I want to draw. And I'm just going to say that all of this that I'm drawing is the shore of the pond. So here is where the water begins.
Can't see anything. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
So Strahd between us and the water?
No, he's on the other side. Well, when you last saw him, anyway.
On the other side of the water?
I'm going to place... Well, hold on. Let me update the view a bit. Why is this not syncing like I wish it to? Alright. You last saw him about here, where Esmeralda's at. And
Okay.
now I'm going to place her next to Mr. Jeeves.
Alright, cool.
Alright. Okay, so now I will do my thing.
don't see Jack or Esmeralda's initiative.
Esmeralda's initiative is not there. That's weird. Oh, that's because I rolled it and I didn't do it right. There we go. What'd she get? Oh, she's second actually. So she would go now.
Yeah. Jack should be up there with Elias.
Yeah, Jack, you're missing initiative.
He rolled
What did he get?
16.
Yeah,
He rolled
I'm right there under Elias.
Yeah, me and Jack are tied for 16.
Okay. I just manually typed it in just now. All right. So, what is she going to do? You see 3 illusionary copies of of her come out. So she has cast Mirror Image, which looks like the same thing that Jack normally does. And let's see, what does she want to do this at what level? She'll just cast it as a 2nd level spell. Alright, so that's what she uses her turn doing, and now it is Strahd's turn. I didn't mean to flash him on there, it just... Alright. He's going to... you see a cloud of fog beginning to emanate around all of you, kind of centered on Elias. And it seems to reach out for about 20-foot radius, so 40-foot diameter, which is the effective combat area here, with heavily obscured fog. It's hard to see anywhere in this fog now. Alright, and that's all that happens this round for him. Jack, what would you like to do? You're effectively blinded by this fog.
Okay. Jack is...
Blow the cloud away with the wings.
Jack copies Esmeralda.
Okay. Alright, Jack casts Mirror Image. Anything else?
No, nothing else. I don't have anything handy.
Elias?
Alright, so even though Elias can't see, he still remembers where he is in relation to the water, and where Strahd originally was before he disappeared.
Yeah, you have a general sense of the area. You can't see anything.
Yes. Yes, and he noticed that the water in the pool was relatively shallow. So what Elias is going to do is he's going to take movement and stand in it.
Okay. You do find the water. How deep would you want to go in?
Well, he kind of tests it as he goes. He'll go to about, we'll say, knee level.
Okay. So Elias is knee level in water. You're not too far into the pool. I'd say about 10 feet in from the shore.
All right, very good. And he'll just, he'll hold an action. He's not going to do anything right now.
Well, movement was an action, so it's not a held action.
Oh, okay. Well, he'll stay there then.
Okay. Alexandra, what would you like to do? Or you can ready an action. I mean, that's a different thing, though. That's you telling me specifically that you're waiting for something to happen, and then you'll do this. That's readying an action. Like, delaying your turn, though, is an option that was bypassed by movement.
Well, I tell you what, I'm gonna actually cast Bless on the other members of the party. That's what I'm gonna do.
All right. What's the range on that?
The range is, let's see, 30 feet.
And I'm guessing you did that before you walked into the water. Otherwise, there's no way you could see him or anything.
Okay, yes, that'll work then.
Okay. You gather everyone around just very briefly and cast Bless. Let me see if I can do that. Bless.
My skirt buff for the win.
Are you casting it at what level are you casting it at?
Let's see, I'll cast it at 2nd level so I can target 4 people instead of 3.
Okay.
And that will include myself.
So 4 people. Who did you not include?
Esmeralda. She seems to be pretty good on her own.
How rude. I'm just kidding.
Well, I can only do so much.
I know. Whenever they make an attack roll or a saving throw before the spell ends, the target can roll a d4 and add the number to the roll attack before, or the saving throw. And that's going to last up to a minute, so 6 rounds, and you have to remain concentrating on that spell for it to remain in effect. But okay, that's in effect now, and now it's Alexandra's turn.
Well, during the short rest, she actually had time to attune to her weapon.
Yes.
So she's going to use the bonus action that it has and summon some sunlight.
And in the obscure fog, the sunlight doesn't really reach out very much at all. But it does illuminate your immediate area. Oops, I hit the button. I didn't mean to hit the button. Alexandra, it's still your turn.
That's alright. Well, she has no actual target aside from the fog, so lashing out with the whip would kind of be useless unless she were to somehow miraculously hit him in the mist.
Would be kind of entertaining to see you slashing around at nothing.
Yeah, no. She'll hold her turn for
now. Well, holding the turn, basically this is the end of the round. So if anyone has any held turns that they'd like to use, this would be the time to do so.
Well, I have a bag of 1,000 ball bearings. Can I just grab a handful and throw them out there? See if I hit anything? Oh, I guess I can't see though.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you'd even see like what they'd hit.
Maybe I'll just scatter a few in front of me and see if he slips on them.
Okay. The ground beneath your feet isn't quite that hard, but
Oh yeah, it's still sink in, won't they? Never mind. I'll take that back. Yeah. I'm just gonna go on the defensive. Can I stealth? Can I
absolutely.
in this fog?
It's pretty much a. Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
you've
Whoosh, I disappear.
you've completely disappeared.
You are one with the mist.
Exactly.
Jeeves? What Jeeves?
Would you like to move as well?
Yeah, I'll retreat a little bit.
Okay. Is that it?
Actually, I might follow, well, it's just a little bit into this, like, seemingly holy-ish water.
Okay. He has no idea you're there. Alexander, are you sure you didn't want to do anything this round?
Yeah, I'm gonna hold the turn for now.
Alright, well, there is no holding a turn at this point because it's the end of the round. So, skip.
Lash out with a whip. Go on.
Alright, fine. I guess she will lash at that fog.
Swing it around 360 degrees. There you go.
Alright. Roll a percentile. You know how to do that? You right click on the D10 and there's a percentile.
Yep, I got it.
Alright. And then roll to hit. Alright. Nothing happens. You slash around in the mist. Mr. Jeeves. I know you just went, but that was you holding your turn. It's your turn again.
Uh-huh.
Alex could have added a 4 to that, a D4 to hit if you wanted to.
The percentage.
And she hit him. She would have hit him if it mattered. Because the DC was 16. But the percentage.
It's okay. No one really saw it. But the DM thought that it was cute. Slashing around in the mist.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold my turn again.
All right. Esmeralda, it will be her turn now. And she is going to use her own protection and cast Protection from Good and Evil. You hear Esmeralda's voice in the fog somewhere, chanting the words of a spell. And she is now protected against undead. Alright. And that's all she's going to do. Strahd's turn is next. Alright, let's see who's going to be getting it.
Such a nice DM.
God.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Oh, let's see here. First of all, I have to see how the fog affects him as well. Huh. Yeah, I think that he'll go ahead and go for Esmeralda. Alright. You don't see anything. But you hear Esmeralda scream. And it sounds like she's in battle with Strahd.
Do I know which general direction they're in?
Yeah, you can kind of tell her direction, absolutely. Just from the scream. Whew, he's got a lot of stuff to do here. All right. Yeah, even with the disadvantages, he has landed some damage on her. Whew.
Was that an insta-kill? Oh my god.
That looks like a lot of dice.
It is.
Oh my god.
Holy crap.
You hear her screaming, and she says, come to me, he's biting me.
Oh, great.
Bam.
Jack, it's your turn.
Motherfucker. Okay. How far is it that we can see
You
in
can't.
the fog?
It's heavily obscured. You're basically blind.
So what do you want me to do to roll to find my way to Esmeralda?
You're pretty confident just by the sound of her screaming, and she's not stopping, that you can find her just simply on your ears alone.
Okay. Is Strahd actually there and by?
You don't see him. What you see when you come to Esmeralda is her frantically fighting against some invisible force, and you see blood gushing out of her neck. It also looks like she suffered multiple vicious claw wounds. She looks like she's about to die.
God,
And you still see that there are 3 other Esmeraldas, and other than the one that is currently being grappled.
Okay. Here's what Jack does. Because I don't need to see him for this spell. Not the way he's currently hanging on to her like that. Okay. First off, Jack is going to cast Chill Touch.
Does this require that you can see the target?
You create a ghostly skeletal hand in the space of a creature within range. Make a ranged spell attack against the creature to assail it with the Chill of the Grave. On a hit, the target takes 1d8 necrotic damage, and it can't regain hit points until the end of your turn. Until then, the hand clings to the target. If you hit an undead target, it also has disadvantage on attack rolls against you until end of turn. It does not say that I need to see it, but as the DM, ultimate lies with you.
Well, it requires a ranged touch attack, correct?
Yes.
Go ahead and make one with disadvantage.
You can also add a D4 to that.
The bless works for attack rolls?
Primarily, yeah.
Huh. Yeah.
Yep.
Attack rolls and saving throws. That's awesome. I know I read that earlier. That's why I kept that spell up. Let's see. Unfortunately, you dropped a 15 and you rolled a 14. So those miss. The touch attack failed.
Quicken spell.
And then
Okay. Same spell?
Yes.
You
Also
roll...
with disadvantage. Sorry, I forgot to click.
That's fine. Just
Now,
do it. Don't hit the disadvantage button this time. Just roll
I know,
it again.
don't hit the button. Just roll a second.
Right. That's happened several times this campaign. Unfortunately, that does not connect.
It might now.
Oh. Huh. Actually, let me double check for a second. But little Strahd, what's your AC?
16, same as mine.
No.
You said it was.
You
I said it's comparable. Yeah, comparable. Yeah.
Damn it.
But actually, it does hit. All right, so roll damage, and it is an undead.
Hey, looks good.
14 damage. Okay. Anything else about that spell? You said something about it holding on till the end of the turn or something like that?
Yes. It clings to him until the start of my next turn, and he cannot gain hit points until the start of my next turn.
That's very helpful, both of those things.
Yeah.
So
right.
we can see him now.
Well, you can see.
Well, we
but
have
you
a.
can't.
We can see where he is.
Yeah. All right. Anything else with your turn, Jack? That's a move and a couple of spells. Let's get that awesome music going again.
I love that thing.
What do you want me to roll to taunt Strahd?
Just roll an intimidation check. Or persuasion and intimidation are the same thing, right? In this edition.
Intimidating Strahd, eh?
Intimidation, my butt. I'm persuading him.
Same thing, right? Is intimidation a separate? I don't know if they're even separate. They shouldn't be separate. Ooh, that's a 20. Okay. You can't tell if you've got his attention or not, but you definitely did something. What'd you say?
I'm the one who cast the ritual to break your hold on the land.
Good taunt. You are well deserving of that 20. All right. Elias, you're up.
Well, Elias will follow the sound of the screaming, certainly. So he'll see what's going on with the hand and Jack.
Okay. You can.
I was planning on using Divine Sense, but I don't think I have to do that now.
Not at the moment.
Okay, so where should I put myself? Like here-ish?
Sure, you can put yourself here. You can see that Esmeralda is being grappled by some unseen force, but you can see a ghostly skeletal hand clinging to that invisible force, which is obviously Strahd. seems like even though he's invisible, he can still attack.
Let's see. So I'm wondering, before I try to attack, if the attack is successful, well, after Jack's attack, is he still grabbing Esmeralda?
Yes.
Okay, so if I successfully hit him, like with actual melee attack, would he still be on her, or would he be knocked free?
He would still be on her.
Can I try to wrestle him off of her?
You would have to grapple him. Would you like to initiate a grapple?
Does the hand being there count as us being able to see him for the purpose of spell targeting?
Grapple
You think
initiated.
that it may work? What's up, sweetie?
I said grapple initiated.
Maybe.
All right. Well, Elias, being the hero and everything he is, he's going to try to grapple him, and to the effect of getting him off of Esmeralda.
All right. You're gonna have to make a melee attack to grapple him, though, and it will be with disadvantage. So you can add your strength roll to a d20 to attack, and then I guess your proficiency. Let's see how that works. When you want to grab a creature or wrestle with it, you can use the attack action to make a special grapple. If you're able to make multiple attacks, this replaces one of them. The target of your grapple must be no more than one size larger than you and within your reach. Let's see. It's strength contested by their strength or dexterity. So your strength versus his either strength or dexterity. The target chooses the ability to use. And then, okay, so, it's a grapple check. It's not an attack roll, even though it says special melee attack. It's really just a contest of strengths. That's what it appears to be. Let me see what's better, his strength or his dexterity. All right. Go ahead and make a strength check.
Okay.
You actually feel him, and he pushes you away. You feel like you almost got a good hold on him, and then just a forceful push. You're shoved backwards.
So
Unsuccessful
I don't.
grapple.
The bless wouldn't affect that, would it?
Sure. I would say
Well.
that would affect that. He still rolled much better than you, though.
Darn. Okay.
Actually, let's see. It dropped a 7. So that would have bettered it by 2. That's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, I'm going to say that his disadvantage negated your disadvantage. But still, the dropped roll of 7, of course, plus 3, it still wasn't enough. So you've moved and you made that special attack. Do you only get one attack? I don't know since you've leveled up.
Yeah, I still only get one attack.
Okay. So I think that's all you can do, unless I'm wrong. I think it's end of your turn.
Let me check for bonus actions. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm done.
Alexandra, your turn. I don't know why it skipped.
sorry.
Oh, because we
I
both
did that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, hearing Esmeralda screaming, of course she's going to head over as well.
All right.
And seeing as she's being grappled by an unseeable force and blood is gushing from her throat, this is going to be tough to assume whether he's behind her or in front of her.
With the way her body is contorted, and you would expect you expect him to be facing her.
And you can also see the hand and what Elias just did. So.
Yeah. You think that you could make a strike without much fear of hitting Esmeralda.
Alright, good. That's what she's going to do then.
Alright, your rolls will be with disadvantage, though, still. With this fog and him being invisible. And
even with her having summoned the radiant sunlight?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, here goes nothing.
You can still add 4s, though.
It was enough to hit.
Yep.
So go ahead and roll damage. And he is undead, so don't forget that the description of your weapon shows you what to do when they're undead. Also, that acts as sunlight, does it not?
Mm-hmm. The light emitted is bright light in a 15-foot radius. Let's see. The light is sunlight.
Right. Barovia hasn't seen sunlight this bright, even in obscure darkness, or obscured fog, in a long time. So whenever you're ready, just roll damage.
When you hit an undead with it, the target takes an extra 1d8 radiant damage.
Wow.
Did that add the +2?
Added up plus a lot of stuff. Yeah, it
Okay,
says
there we go.
+2.
Right, cool.
Yeah, and that was, you need to add the additional 8, right?
Yep, the additional
D8.
d8. 1 second. I'm gonna...
There you go. Alright, so 15?
That was... Yep.
Alright, let me do some janky math. And you'll have another attack, correct?
I have 2 more attacks, actually. So with the offhand weapon, I'm going to just go with the rapier. Still with disadvantage?
Yes. That's a hit.
With minimal
Good
damage.
Still. So. Alright. That was with the rapier?
Yep.
Alright, that's an offhand attack. Now you get a second attack, though, right? Like a
Yep.
normal
A
second
second
attack
regular attack, yeah.
with the whip.
Yep.
That's a miss. But Strahd, you hear him curse, and he says, "Blast this weapon! What is this?"
You can add the D4 to that, Alex.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot.
Good job.
Okay, let's do that.
Just add roll a d4. So it would have been 15.
Yeah.
Still not enough.
Damn it.
But you can tell Strahd is disturbed by the sunlight produced by your whip.
Good.
Mr. Jeeves.
I had a held turn as well. Can I use that now first?
Sure.
Okay. I'm gonna scoop up the water in my hands that I'm standing in, and try and use it as like a splash.
Okay.
You say Strahd was like probably in front of her.
Yeah.
So like.
Not
Okay.
there. You can get. Never mind. That's fine.
I don't know. Alright, I'm gonna throw it in his general direction.
Okay. With disadvantage, just roll a ranged attack.
Do I have just a ranged attack?
I think it would be just like your bow, right? Your bow isn't anything special.
It's like a +7.
Yeah.
Wouldn't count as an improvised weapon.
Yes, it is.
So, what?
Oh, so you're not proficient with it. Just roll a d20.
Not proficient at throwing water.
roll
Yeah. Boo!
with,
Sorry, what?
with disadvantage. Roll a d20, and
Yes.
you can add your dexterity modifier +7.
Yeah, that's not going anywhere.
Right, it didn't.
That sucks.
Right, so you come out and you kind of just splash water at Esmeralda, and by the time that you've brought the water from there to where you hear her
Yeah.
screaming, most of it was gone out of your hands. So it was
Yeah.
kind of comical as you just kind of appear out of the mist, just like throwing your hands up with a little bit of wet. But it is your turn again.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna like lash out my rapier in his general direction.
Okay.
Please don't stab your future waifu.
Well, thanks for saying that.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
Oh
I'm
no.
sorry.
Oh
do I
boy.
slip on the water?
Can you just
Who do
fall
I
on his own
stab?
weapon? Please don't kill Esmeralda.
Well, I mean, it would make sense that he would miss Strahd since he's invisible and stabs her since they're basically tangled up together. Roll damage.
Oh.
Ooh, shit.
Maximum damage.
Alright.
Oh my god.
Alright, so that's 77? Jesus. She's about dead.
You guys could have helped me trying to get him off of her, you know.
Hey, I did try.
Can I pour a potion down her throat?
Pour some of the
No.
holy water onto her.
It's Esmeralda's turn now. And let's see. She's going to use a Vistani power and give the evil eye. Let's see. What's the casting time on this? Alright, so Strahd needs to make a save. I got a lot of windows open over here. She utters a curse at Strahd, but he just chuckles it off. What else can she do? I think that she's going to hold the rest of her turn. Uttering that curse didn't really cause her any real action, so she's gonna hold on. But she's screaming and saying, "Get him off of me! Get him off of me, or I'm done for." Jack. Oh wait. First, it's Strahd's turn.
Oh shit.
Although he shouldn't be healing.
No,
Right.
he's not.
And also, she shouldn't be holding her turn if it's Strahd's turn right after her.
If he's going to do something, she will retaliate. But she felt him let go all of a sudden, and she says, "I'm free." And then you feel the mist swirl past Jack and Elias. All right.
We should still be able to see the hand, I think.
Yes, and you see it in between you and Elias. And you, let's see, does this have verbal? Yes, you hear Strahd uttering the words of a spell. Jack, make a Constitution save.
So if you move that far away, I don't get an attack of opportunity or anything, do I?
You can't see him.
Yeah.
I don't want to hit Esmeralda again.
Okay.
All you have to do is get her out of your line of vision.
I'm just glad I didn't use sneak attack.
All right, Jack, you're lucky you're not a shrub, because you feel a wave of necromantic energy wash over you, and all of the moisture within your body seems to dissipate and shrivel. You take necrotic damage.
But
That was a lot
Oh
of dice.
my god. Everybody sees Jack's wither. Well, not everyone. Esmeralda, Jeeves, and Elias sees that Jack withers and falls down. He
my
is
God.
unconscious.
what the crap?
How much did I take?
45.
All of it.
Say what?
45. Let's
Wow.
think about this
Then
for
I'm
a
not
second.
unconscious.
Hold on.
Five away from instant death.
Roll a d4, just for the sake of that's what Bless does. I don't think that it'll help you out anyway, but just
45, you said?
yes,
As in
That's-
4-5?
yes.
Then I'm not unconscious. I'm dead.
Yeah, that's overkill.
Really?
I thought double was.
He only
overkill.
has 25 HP in the combat tracker.
Right, so shouldn't it be 50 or more? I thought insta-kill was like 50, like double.
Still, that's way more HP than he has.
We could roll the D4 as well.
Well,
It's
I
only
think this is.
5.
Yeah, it would be a total of 4 better. That'd still only be 14 to save. That wouldn't save. However, I think that you have luck. Is that correct? Will luck allow you to re-roll a save?
Yes? What I can do is have him re-roll his thing with luck, essentially granting him disadvantage. It was an attack, right?
It's a spell.
Off of an attack roll, though, right?
No. It's not like a touch attack spell.
I can use luck to remake my check, or I can have him remake an attack roll and hope he gets lower.
It's not an attack roll, so that wouldn't apply to that. It's like one of your...
But I can
Yeah, you can redo your save, which I highly recommend doing. And add a d4 to it. So that's 13, 14, 15, 16, correct?
Yes.
All right, how much more luck do you have?
I have a 1 more luck point, but
You can't roll. You can't do it back.
I can only use 1.
Okay. Yeah.
Nope. I can use 1 at a time.
Unfortunately,
Jack, Elias can bring you back to life, so don't be too worried about that.
So can the angel. Oh.
That was cold, Jeeves.
well, let's look up the instant death thing, because that's important at this point. That's the massive damage.
No, if I've
He's
got
4
a
away from instant
total
Sorry.
of 33 hit points, but 45 hit points is puts me at -12, which puts me dead.
No, that's not the way 5th edition works. You don't drop to negatives. There are no negative hit points.
There is no negatives.
No. But there is massive damage.
There is massive damage.
Yes, it can kill you instantly. When the damage reduces you to 0 hit points, and there is damage remaining, you die if the remaining damage equals or exceeds your hit point maximum.
Right.
So how much damage did it do? Like what negative would it be?
It'd be -12, which I'm not I have more than 12 hit points.
Right. So you're fine. You're just unconscious. You're not even dead yet. You're just bleeding out. You can make rolls on your turn to save.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, that's better than I thought.
All right. Let me see what else Strahd can do this round.
Yeah.
Let's see what kind of meta magic this fool does.
See if you can get 2 for 1.
You feel like maybe he could do something else, but he just chuckles at the unconscious body of Jack. And then you think that he may have moved, just from the way the mist had swirled away from Jack's fallen body. And now it is Jack's turn. Jack, your hand disappeared that you had cast, and now you need to roll just an unmodified d20. All right, that is a success. You need 3 of 3 successes to get back up. I've marked on your character sheet on the front page at the bottom. I've marked 1 save. Next up will be Elias. Elias, any amount of healing will bring him back to consciousness.
Right. I'm going to channel Divinity, Preserve Life, and split the hit points between him and Esmeralda. So that is hit points equal to 5 times my cleric level, so that is 25 divided by 2.
When you do that, can you target multiple people?
Yes. So it says, as an action, you present your holy symbol and evoke healing energy that can restore a number of hit points equal to 5 times your cleric level. Choose any creatures within 30 feet of you and divide those hit points among them.
So 25 divided by 2 is 12 and 13. So put them where you want them.
Okay, so... I don't think I could manually split them exactly.
Right, you just have to tell me your targets and I'll adjust their hit points.
Okay, I'm giving we'll say the 12 to Esmeralda and the 13 to Jack. I don't have to split them in the middle if I didn't want to, but I'll do it that way for now.
Oh, did you? You applied it. Okay.
Wow.
Saving me the...
It's like everybody got you in.
No, it shouldn't have done that.
Oh boy.
I was just clicking the button.
So I need to add 25 damage to Esmeralda, and Jack is at 25. Okay, so how much did you heal Jack for?
He has 13 and Esmeralda got 12.
All right, Jack, you're back conscious. Let's see, 52 plus 25, that's 77 where she was at. And you gave her 12, is that right?
Right.
So she's at 65 win points. All right. Is there anything else you want to do with your turn?
So we could feel the direction that Strahd moved, or do we have no idea?
You're not sure which direction. You have a good idea that he did move. So attacking that same spot might not be wise.
Okay, Elias will begin. He'll move back to where he was in the water and suggest everyone else do the same.
When you move, you're halted by an attack.
Okay.
Oh god.
Let's see.
Don't kill the healer.
So you found Strahd momentarily when you were in this area.
It's our job to make sure the healer doesn't kill himself.
Although if we could all get Strahd into the holy water, that might work.
All right. The unhittable Elias has been hit.
What?
Yeah.
That was a lot of dice.
All right. 28 points of damage as...
We're fighting the final boss.
Oh. Man.
Yes, you feel his claws rake into you, and not only that, but some sort of necrotic energy also seeping into you, which makes you feel drained of life. However, you can continue at this point to go to the water.
Okay.
Unless you wanted to stop where you're at.
Grapple him! Grapple him!
You still can't see him, but you know which direction the hand came from.
Huh. Well, I wouldn't be able to take an action right now anyway, so I wouldn't be able to grapple him, correct?
Right, it's just either continue your movement or stop.
Okay, I'll continue movement then.
Okay. You can go ahead and put yourself back in the water. Thank you. Next up is Alexandra. Alexandra, you couldn't really see that hit got to Elias unless he called out that happened.
He did shout a good bit.
Okay.
Rather than attack the mist blindly again, she's going to try to reason with him.
What would you like to say?
Lord Strahd, please. Don't continue with this. You've proven your point, have you not? Please, allow us to continue on our quest to find Lisa for you. We will make haste, I swear.
You have severed my connection to the land. You think that I can let you go without learning this lesson?
The lesson has been learned, my lord. It's clear we're no match for you.
Holy One, why did you give up my notes? Was it out of fear or obedience?
I saw no choice, regardless of my motive.
Then you understand there is no choice, that my will is supreme in this land.
Elias doesn't say anything.
Yes, you do understand. I will let you live. For now. But I expect you to bring to me the guest to my castle. Does everyone understand?
As we agreed originally, my lord.
Esmeralda defiantly says, I will never serve evil.
Oh, keep your mouth shut.
Anyone else?
Elias winces,
Yeah.
and he says, "Neither will
Excellent.
Oh my god.
Anyone else?
I'm gonna stand my ground too.
Jack, you're on the ground, but you're awake.
Jack is moaning piteously.
Okay. Alexander, what do you want to do? It looks like, I don't know, Jack, standing your ground, Jeeves, standing your ground is kind of silent, so that might not be understood by all of these people in this mist.
That's true.
Did you want to say anything, like Elias did?
Gosh.
The sooner you allow us to be on our way, the sooner we can find her, my lord. Though we have no direction, no idea where to, we will search with haste.
Yes, I believe you would do this. But do you need all of your companions to do so?
I would ask for all of their lives, yes.
And what will you do for me in return? This is not part of our original bargain.
What would you have me do?
You will stay with me in Castle Ravenloft.
Alex turns and looks to her friends.
Let me be the one to stay.
Yeah, you can't see any of your
Lord
friends.
Strut.
Oh yeah, that's right. Miss. Can any of them hear his response to her then?
Absolutely, everyone can hear that. Everyone can hear everyone else.
Let me be the one to stay, Lord Strahd.
I am speaking to the lady.
What guarantees do I have that you won't just turn me into one of your thralls the moment we arrive?
You have no guarantees from me. If you wish for you and all of your friends to leave right now, promise me you will stay as my guest for as long as I wish.
Oh god, what do I do? I can't just let him kill you all. I'm sorry.
Is that what you say?
No, it's out of character.
Jack sits up, looks like he's going to say something, and then doesn't. Clenches his fists.
Elias mutters to himself, "We will come for you if you go," but not very loudly.
You have my word. I'll stay. Please, just let them live.
Bring Lisa to me. As soon as possible. You don't hear anything else.
The ominous thunder.
The music's not right on time.
The fog begins to dissipate.
Elias will use Divine Sense to ensure Strahd is left.
What's the range?
The range is 60 feet.
Yeah, you don't sense anything.
Okay, Elias will vocalize that. I don't sense him anymore.
For the record, that fight would have been a lot easier with an angel.
You're still hung up on that, Jack.
Yes!
It was hardly.
It was a race to a good resource.
Resource indeed.
Yep.
How do you feel about that resource, Esmeralda? Let me heal you.
Yes, that would be very appreciated. You see the wounds on her neck and the claw marks in her flesh begin to seal up magically. And she says, "That is not the first time I've tangled with a vampire, of course. We will have him. This I swear."
You haven't been tainted by the bite, have you?
No, a vampire must slay his victim by draining them of blood. Then once they are buried, they will come back as a spawn. I will not share that fate. Not today.
That's definitely different from how it works in our land.
You're welcome.
If you mean the charms that vampires can cast upon their victims, I don't believe that he had the opportunity to do so because of the obscurity of the mist. It requires that you see them.
It's not their charm I speak of. But it's a story for another time. One of my ancestors.
Very well then.
We should get...
I do not believe the villagers of this town would wish us to stay any longer. We should see ourselves out while they're still cowering in fear. Probably praying to God for their safety. Afraid to even look out their windows.
I think it's pretty clear that aside from Elias's presence, God has turned his eyes from this place.
And for you, Jack.
As Myrtle looks around. It is late. Shall we go anyway?
After that, I'm up for a bit of a trip.
Indeed. We should head straight away to Van Richten's tower.
All right. So you will retrieve your horse and cart and begin the journey. Let me check the map.
Lady Esmeralda, can you manage? I could heal you some more if you'd like.
If it is no bother, then please.
Certainly.
I believe this is the first time you guys have traveled at night.
All right, I have used everything.
All right. So you're beginning the trek from Kresk to Lake Baratok, is that correct?
That's where the tower is, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, as you're going down the path, you get to this area. You spot a wolf trap. Its steel jaws caked with rust. Someone has carefully hidden the trap under a thin layer of pine needles.
Can I disarm it?
You can.
Okay. I'm gonna disarm it and retrieve it.
All right. You have a rusty hunting trap.
Yay! Add to my collection of junk.
Next time we face Strahd in battle, you can swing it at his face.
Exactly.
All right. You make your way back to Van Richten's tower. Esmeralda's cart is still parked there. She says, "If you'll excuse me, I must have some private time to myself before I speak to Van Richten. Please let him know I'll be in soon."
Certainly.
And she goes to her wagon, but you don't see her open the door. Instead, she crawls underneath it and then disappears.
Hmm. Shall we?
Alexandra will walk right up to the tower and knock on the door.
Okay. You think that it being night, it's going to take a bit to rouse Van Richten and get him down here, but after enough effort, he eventually comes down and opens the door. "You're traveling at night. This can't be good."
We just came from an encounter with Strahd.
He kicked our asses.
Your asses.
"Why did he let you live?"
Because Alexandra promised to give herself over to him.
To save you all.
You lost on the deal.
I needn't be reminded, Jack.
Sorry, it is my job.
What choice did I have?
Let us all die a noble death?
Friends.
Leave while he was killing us? I would have made my neck extra chewy just for the opportunity.
Listen, there is no reason that we can't take care of Strahd. You will have to fulfill no promises to him. It's good that you are alive. That's all that matters.
I agree.
Esmeralda's here. She crawled under her cart. She'll be in a minute.
You found Esmeralda. Where was she?
At the Abbey.
Of a crazy angel.
The Abbey of St. Markovia.
Yes, I've never been there. It was part of my agenda to investigate it eventually.
Quite a curious abbot they had there. Someone that apparently was an angel. He refused to let us leave once we disagreed with his plan for...
Once you disagreed with his plan.
Once I solely disagreed with his plan. I gladly struck him down because he was insane.
Would everyone pardon me while I reunite with Esmeralda?
I think she needed a minute. If you could give her some time.
Ah, I understand. Do you know why she is in these lands?
Well, she was particularly staying at the Abbey because she figured there was a plot she was putting into action to lure Strahd to the Abbey and using the abbot to her advantage to take him out, but it proved to not quite work out as she had planned.
Elias pissed the angel off in a holier-than-thou pissing contest.
It sounds like a horrible idea anyway.
Yes, his plan was he was making a construct, a man-made creature he was going to make Strahd's bride with the soul of Tatiana if he could acquire such thing, and get a wedding dress and present it to him as a substitute in order to satiate him so that he will stop terrorizing the lands. Because he thought if we destroyed Strahd, then the realm itself would also be destroyed or lose its existence.
This sounds
I think he
ridiculous.
was more afraid of being trapped here permanently.
Well, I can understand how someone would worry about being stuck here forever, but as far as the wedding dress and the bride, that sounds ridiculous to me.
His motives were misguided and selfish, true enough, but he did have a pure heart. And his intentions were good.
Zealousy will get you an early grave. Jack looks directly at Elias while he says this.
I'm sorry, I missed that.
Zealousy gets you an early grave. He looks directly at Elias while he says this.
True enough, it did give him an early grave.
Jack keeps staring.
Yes, and I wouldn't say he had a good heart either. He was quite set on killing me because I disagreed with his plan. We both had the aim of taking down Strahd.
He's been here for long. He had been here for longer than we could have been alive. I like to see how we fare under such a time frame.
Gentlemen, we could argue ourselves in circles over the matter. The fact
We've
is,
been
what's
here
done
for
is
less
done.
than 2 weeks. And look, you don't have a shadow. She's... He points at Alexandra. She's just, oh my god, promised to 2 different monsters at this point. And I'm amazed every day that Jeeves doesn't die of a heart attack.
Alex just rolls her eyes at this point.
I'm appalled that you all thought anything of this being. I don't know what to tell you.
I had my reasons. I was going to use him to our advantage.
Exactly. He was only useful to you.
Exactly. He was useful, but now he's dead. Because he was second or third most powerful being that we've met here. That I've met here.
Useful, using people. And how would you have us take down your redheaded friend Carmilla? You would use us to your advantage. You don't get to preach to us this time, Elias.
Friends, don't worry. We're all terrible people. We're all using each other for our own ends. After all, we're all here to accomplish the Belmont's mission of killing Matthias.
I hadn't considered using you all for anything related to Carmilla. I didn't know she was here until recently.
We saw the look in your eyes when you saw her.
And you stopped me, and I thank you for that.
She simply nods.
My friends, you seem very tired. Perhaps it
Aren't we
is time
always?
to Get comfortable.
I'm thirsty.
Van
We would
Richten
appreciate
produces
your
a flask
hospitality.
and hands the flask to Jack.
Thank you very much, my friend. Jack drinks it angrily.
You're not sure where he got it, but it appears to be vodka.
Potato juice.
Jack, in which case Jack takes a drink, sputters because it's not what he was expecting, looks at it, looks back at Van Richten, hugs him tightly, and proceeds to drink the vodka down while holding on to Van Richten's in an embrace.
His face sours as you continue to drink as much as you want. He kind of reaches back for it as you're guzzling it down.
Jack doesn't fight him too hard.
Okay. He says, "Hey, this place only has a few drops of wine. Anything else is hard to come across."
If and when we make it out of here alive, my friend, I promise I'll replace anything he's drunk of yours.
Well, let's just make sure that happens. Just then, Esmeralda knocks on the door, and Van Richten eagerly opens it up, and the look in his eyes is one of anger, pride, surprise, and sorrow, all just mixed into an old man. You see a tear come to his face and run down his cheek. And he says, come in. I knew you were here by your wagon, but I haven't seen you in well over a decade. Why have you come here? I told you not to follow me to this place." And she says, "It has been 10 years, so I figured it was time that I knew what had happened to you. Plus, you can move in and out of this land at will. So, if I must, I will leave, if that is what you require. But I would rather stay here and fight. I think these people may have a chance."
We may have a chance, but not just yet. You nearly
Looks
died.
over at Esmeralda. I don't know what fight you were watching.
Yes, well, we survived.
The biggest compliment that came in that fight is that he felt the need to waste 2 protective spells.
One of us had fallen, this is true. But this was in a fight of his own choosing. We must be smart. Just find him where he cannot run.
To do that, we would have to corner him. Exactly where you didn't want to fight him.
Still, if we are prepared, and we're going there on our own accord to do that exact deed, I believe it is possible.
As do I, and fight we must. I think he came to us because he was quite worried of what we had done so far.
I think he came to us because he was watching. Or at least... No, I don't suppose he could have been watching. I think he came to us because he was grown tired, and that Lisa has evaded him thus far.
She's evaded us, too. I wonder where she could possibly be in this land. She's not in Barovia, not in Vallaki, not in Kresk.
And we know not where she went.
And we haven't the slightest clue as to any leads.
Esmeralda, while you were staying with the Baron, did you see this woman? Jack, minor illusions, what we think of Lisa looking like.
She says, I encountered no one. I was freshly here at Lake Baratok, is where I first left my wagon, and then in my adventures I came upon Kresk. I had passed Kresk on the way into the lands of Barovia, so I made my way back there after I thought that I had been on Van Richten's trail. When I saw that he wasn't here, but there was evidence that he may be, I planned on coming back. I went to Kresk and snuck in very close to where we fought Strahd just now. I bypassed Kresk and went straight to the Abbey. I did not meet any people other than the little, short, hunchbacked men and the abbot.
It's not as if we've turned over every stone in this land either, my friends. There is still the haunted mansion that Izek had mentioned to me outside of Valaki.
I'm less concerned over finding Lisa and more of purifying the sites to further weaken Strahd.
And risk another encounter with him like the one we just had without anything to report for progress. He barely let us escape with our lives this time. We were fortunate. We should at least make some manner of progress before.
And what if we do find her? We give him what he wants?
Of course not. But we have to report something.
We're trying hard.
We are trying, but his patience is wearing thin, and he may harm Ismark's friend. And your friend, too, if I remember, Elias.
Yes, I think I know who he's talking about.
Van Richten says, you mentioned several places. I know this land very well. Is there any questions you may have that I could help with?
Izek had mentioned that it was a mansion that was haunted by the ghost of a dragon?
Yes. He must have met Argon Vastholt. I have not explored the place. But
Do you think it possible that Lisa could be hiding there?
I suppose it may be possible, but if you don't think that it's critical, I think it could be avoided. I don't know where else to look for Lisa, though, and it's imperative that you find her. You remember that Van Richten was extremely upset to find that Lisa was missing when you gave him that news.
I didn't remember that. Okay.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, or was that just with Jack? I think everyone said it, though, right?
I think everyone was there.
Yeah, he basically broke down.
So you don't think she would be there?
No, she may be there. I don't know. I just believe that Argon Vastholt may be dangerous.
More dangerous than what we just encountered?
I have not explored it. From what I understand, it was a stronghold of someone who opposed Strahd. Some dragon worshippers or something like that. Back when Strahd was alive, I believe.
Dragon worshippers.
Maybe not worshippers. They said that a dragon roamed this land at one time. Don't know if
I
they
hope
worshipped
not
him.
anymore.
Legend has it that this was not an evil dragon.
I didn't know such a thing existed.
Yes, dragons are rumored to be very intelligent. I've only heard of dragons in storybooks.
Nothing is what it seems in this place.
That's because you're a zealot, Elias. There are plenty of stories of good dragons. Europe, Asia especially.
I know of the myths and folklore for sure. I have not heard of an accurate telling of one existing, though.
Myths and folklore are just the interesting parts of the story that survive.
Then perhaps we should go introduce the two of you.
I don't see any better option.
Van Richten says, if Strahd found you because you had purified one of the sites that you had previously told me about, I'm sure that purifying another, he will also seek you out again. That would be an act of hostility towards him.
True enough, and I suppose we're saying that we should have something of Lisa to compromise that encounter?
Obviously, we're not going to just hand her right over to him so willingly, but some sort of news, some sort of sign that we're making progress at least. Perhaps it would appease him.
But he would also know that we made progress on the purifying the site as well. I don't know if it would really continue down that way.
You aren't seriously thinking about giving Lisa over to Strahd.
Of course not.
Yes, I
He
would
just
not allow
thinks we
that.
are.
We would never willingly give her over to him, but it's imperative that he believes we will.
I understand.
It's odd enough as it is that he does believe we will. He must be quite desperate.
He requested that I stay at the castle.
Esmeralda says, do you believe that there is some way that we could purify both sites simultaneously?
I believe Van Richten could do it.
Is it a ritual spell?
Yes.
Jack assisted with me the first time when I did it, so he would know something of it.
Yes.
Do I know approximately what level the spell is?
It's easily obtainable with the knowledge that you have of alchemy and arcane arts, with a bit of also holy wisdom from Elias. It can be accomplished without being any higher than a few levels. Levels isn't really an issue here. Levels is just a measure of power, and you think that this is more of a matter of fantastic science.
I don't see any reason why we couldn't do two at once, and that would blindside him.
If you divide
It
your
would require splitting the group.
Not necessarily.
And if he instantly flew to the seals,
If it would serve further purpose for the both of you to get those seals, I could go and distract him.
Well, if our friends here, and he gestures towards Van Richten and Esmeralda, if they're willing to help, then I'm certain I could teach Van Richten the very simple matter of doing it.
Yes, it makes sense that I learn this as soon as possible. Even if this is not the plan you wish to go forward to, if something was to happen to you, this knowledge needs to be passed on.
Absolutely. And I garnered most of it from the Tome of Strahd itself, which he took from me and seemed to know I had it.
He must think that this is the only way that someone would know. He's foolish to let you live.
I agree. I'm quite surprised. Anyway, yes, let me teach you that. It involves symbols and the reversing of them to undo what has been done to these places.
We can begin
Oh, I
study
should.
tonight.
Very well. We will also require probably a good long rest with you, if you don't mind.
Of course.
Is everyone agreeable to that plan for now?
Yep.
Indeed.
And by that plan, I mean not to go off to these sites straight away. We still have much to discuss regarding finding Lisa and doing this thing.
Right.
What we could do is clear out the locations, make sure they are free of guardians, and then perhaps leave each of our friends here to one of the seals.
Yes, that is a great way to proceed with it. I agree with that. As we saw from the first time, it was definitely guarded.
We could likely get some backup from our friends as well.
Yes, and I need to retrieve the Spear of Longinus as well.
I could definitely use with some hardier armor as well.
Same for myself, if I could find it.
Are
Venrichten
we still
says,
making the trek back to Barovia?
if you need armor and weapons, have you checked out Bilsgrath's mercantile in the village of Barovia?
We have, but he charges quite the overprice for his goods.
He tried to rip us off.
Well, you can't take it with you, can you?
Good point. We have come into quite a bit of gold as we have traveled and spent very little of it, so we may have enough now.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Huh?
Most of that was Jack's doing by clearing out the Baron's coffers, guys. Just a reminder. Be grateful to him.
Oh, yeah, we got paid by the Burgermaster and from that, yeah. But also Jeeves came into quite a bit of money recently. And we have those rings as well.
Alexander still has some stuff she can sell.
And you had the frog on a stick.
I thought we fed it to the short dude.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's gone.
That's
I still have the
terrible.
finger though.
Oh, the Fingler, yeah.
Fingler.
Oh my god.
I had the wrinkle finger and the shrunken head and lots of other goodies.
Oh
I still got the
my god.
guano too.
Oh my god.
Hey, Guano's like a spell component for Fireball, isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
Alex still has the Strahd puppet.
oh yeah, Strong Puppet. I forgot
I
about
have a
this.
fortune teller bust.
that thing's huge though, right? You can't carry that around.
I never left it anywhere, so
Oh, I assumed
forget.
it was still at
Wait.
Blinsky's.
maybe it is. I just didn't take it out of my inventory.
Wait, you have a fortune teller's bust? Get your hands off Esmeralda's chest.
Oh, that's good. All right. Well, Van Richten invites
He's
Elias to begin study, and he explains on how the golems work and how you can elevate yourself through the different levels of the tower. And as you begin your teachings to Van Richten, and Jack is also paying attention. That's how most of the night will pass, unless any other encounters come to bother you. But I think this is a good place to wrap it up. So, any final thoughts from anyone?
What has
Fuck
Alex
that
gotten
vampire
herself
bitch.
into?
Not all at once now. Alexandra, what was that?
What has Alex gotten herself into this time?
Oh, just promising herself to, evil men. That's her thing.
It's save the party!
Uh-huh.
Don't yuck her yum.
What?
A
I don't
nice
know.
coincidence.
That was the whole reason for doing it!
Mm-hmm.
I was the only one willing to try diplomacy. The rest of you were all gung-ho, let's kill him until we're all dead.
We're not sexy ladies.
True.
Mr. Jeeves, anything from you?
Who have
Esmeralda
souls.
is, what was her excuse?
She doesn't have a beautiful soul like you do.
Also, she's not a blonde, and he seems to prefer those.
No, I'm good.
Alexandra, roll insight. Okay. That's where we'll close for the night.
Hey! No!
Until next week. Thanks.
Hey!
Thanks for playing.
Tune in next time.
Yes. All right.
Same
See you later.
bat time, same bat channel.
Hey, oh my god. Has this been streaming my screen the whole time?
Yeah.
Yep.
Why didn't you tell me?
Because it's blurry and we didn't think it mattered because we can't see anything anyway.
Yeah.
That's just great.
Mike, it's blurry as hell. We can't see anything, seriously.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna upload the audio only.
Okay.
Alright.
Trust me, if we could eke some